All right. Hello, everyone. I think we're just waiting for a few people to get on, but thank you for joining the webinar. So you're in the webinar for organizing your CRM with Jenny Miranda. So thanks for attending. I'm just gonna give a few people a chance to log in. But what I will do, if you can, those people who are on, if you can just introduce yourself, go in the chat session and chat window and just give me your name and where you're dialing in from. Give that a few seconds. Aubrey from Virginia. Hi, Aubrey. We have St. Paul in the house of Jake. Hi, Jake from St. Paul. Lori. Hi, Lori from Australia. Nice. Sam. Hi, Sam. Let's give a few more people. And good. Julia, who's still fixing her sound. No worries there. Hopefully everyone can hear perfectly. Okay. Leslie. Hi, Leslie. And hi, Jim. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm glad everyone's coming in today. I am calling in from the Los Angeles area. I was in New York earlier this week, so I've had two different time zones in my bucket. Good. All right, we'll get started in just a few minutes or seconds, actually. But if anyone else wants to introduce themselves, go for it. Jacob. Hi, Jacob. Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Okay. All right, so we're gonna get started here. I do wanna just do some introductions, get you into what this webinar will be about, and then get you right into the tips for organizing your CRM. So like I mentioned, you are in this webinar most likely because you wanna learn how to organize your CRM, or just know you wanna learn how to even start or where to even start with your CRM. And that's the right place to be. So I'll get into exactly what is a CRM or what's the definition of a CRM or how do you know, what's the purpose of a CRM. But first thing I just want to clear out and make sure we're all in the right place for this webinar. So you're managing sales or you're managing some kind of sales process. If that's you, then you're in the right place. That's exactly what a CRM has the capabilities to do and help you do, manage your sales process. It's also a great tool for contact, client, or customer relationship management. So if you manage any kind of customer service process, then that's exactly what you want to use a CRM for, and then you're in the right place for that. We'll just talk through some tips on getting that squared away for you, and how do you even manage a customer service process. You also, if you manage any kind of client contact or lead contact management, in whether you're doing it for yourself or whether you're doing it for your boss, your team, your sales rep, you want to use a CRM for that. And have an effective one will make you use it more effectively, better, and also help you to report to, let's say, that person who you're managing the CRM for. So lots of different use cases for a CRM, and lots of different people use CRMs. So it's not just the salesperson, but just think of it as a way to manage client relationships or business relationships. You're not in the right place if you never even plan on managing customer communications ever. That's not you. You're the person who, I don't know, maybe you're doing the coding in the back. You never have to touch a client, figure out a client. You don't have to know business revenue or relationships at all. That's not to say, now, if you're C-level leadership or business owner or anything like that, and you have a sales team, you have a marketing team, you have a finance team who handles all of that and who will be using the CRM, and you're just like, I'm not even going to touch it, that's not to say that you should not be in this webinar. If you are the person who's making the decision on picking a CRM and paying for that CRM because it's running your business, and other people will be, and you're delegating it out to other people, you should still stay on this webinar because you want to understand what can be done in a CRM, and you want to make sure that your team, who you are going to have use it, is using it most effectively. So you being able to top line see the benefits of it, you can translate that down. I come from a sales world. I'll talk about my background in a second. And I do remember as salespeople, we complain, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. This thing is so stupid. I'm not putting my data. I'm not going to put my contacts in, whatever. I'll keep it in a pen and paper, a notebook and paper, and just keep it that way. And I'll tell you, the bosses would just listen because they never used it every day. And next thing you know, that tool went defunct. We weren't using it and it became outdated and systems just basically collapsed. So you need to understand the benefits and you need to translate that down if you are the boss, because your team won't effectively use it and they'll find excuses to get out of using it. And if it's not a good system, they may be completely and have completely valid points, but you need to be able to understand if it's a good system or not. Okay, so bosses and leadership teams, stay on if you're here. You don't want to be on this call if you don't want to improve your sales process at all. You don't want to improve your business flow or sales flow at all. So that's totally fine. This won't be the webinar for you. In terms of mass e-commerce companies, you guys just have a different bucket. You're dealing with tons of customer, tons of data. It's not really a one-to-one type of relationship management. It's really a big data type of relationship management. So the CRM that I'm talking about today and the tips that I'm talking about today won't really apply to you. There are other mechanisms for you. That's a totally different presentation. So but feel free to stay on if you just want to hear the talk. Okay, so let's talk about what exactly is a CRM and why would we even use one? So the definition of a CRM, customer relationship management. And really it's a system that allows businesses to manage their business relationships and all the data associated with it. So if any of us have run a business, managed customer relationships or run sales, we understand that there is so much data that can flow in and out of one single contact, whether that is email communication, phone communication, logs of activity. What did they buy? What didn't they buy? What did they return? How did they like the service? Anything like that all needs to be logged somewhere. What's the opportunity for them to buy something else from you? All of these things, deals and opportunities, the current status, all of that can be kept within a CRM. And I'll talk about the spreadsheet way and why that won't be effective anymore and can't be effective anymore if you really plan to scale. But having an effective tool will help you do all that. In terms of who uses a CRM, so lots of people, business owners for sure use CRM, sales professionals, like I said, customer service teams, marketing departments definitely use CRMs, and finance teams. Now they all use a CRM from their different levels. Like business owners obviously are using it from just looking at the overall picture of the business health of the company. Sales professionals are just looking at their numbers and their context, and that's all they care about. The customer service teams, again, they're looking at the customers they're serving, and that's really the only view that they need. The marketing department is trying to understand what things are coming in through marketing and then going into sales and becoming sales qualified leads. So all of that is super important. And then, of course, finance wants to know what the numbers look like. So lots of people on your team can use a CRM, and you definitely want to have, if you have a big team, you want to have a CRM that is able to have different users and multiple users on your account. Okay. All right, so before we get right into the presentation, I do want to go into who am I and why am I presenting this today. So my name is Jennifer Nelson, founder of JennyMiranda.com, and I am a marketing automation, email automation, and business process automation consultant. So I work with companies on setting up and strategizing optimal systems so that way they can run their business efficiently, bring in revenue, and a lot of this can be done and strategized through effective automated tools, so including CRMs, and not limited to just email and marketing tools, but CRM for sure. In terms of the background that I come from, so I'm an instructor at General Assembly and teach digital marketing classes there, so I'm a bit of a trainer and educator on that end. I do have corporate background experience. I worked at the Tribune Corp and New York Times for, New York Times was most of that, so about 7 years at the New York Times within the advertising sales capacity. So again, I have a very many years of experience working with CRMs that I hated. And I desperately wanted the CRMs to improve when I was back in sales. And they are improving. That's the good news. They're not all completely there yet, but they're getting there and they're getting better. In terms of my interests and things like that, so I like a lot of things. Of course, I'm in the consultant world, independent entrepreneur world, so lots of things that I read every day or listen to every day to just keep my business going. Double Your Freelancing by Brennan Dunn. He has a great email series if you ever want to log into that. He does have a podcast. I think he might have changed it or maybe even paused it for a minute. I'm not sure, but look back at his historical ones, and they are really good. Just in terms of just understanding business. If for any of you guys who are solopreneurs, consultants, freelancers out there, really good podcast for you. Because I focus on the email marketing space, Email Marketing Daily is my newsletter subscription of choice. Of course, I have many others that I subscribe to, but that's a really good one, just keeping you in the know in the industry. Just from the business leadership world, Start with the Why by Simon Sinek is a really good book that I recommend reading to just get yourself out of the whole what and how we do business and go back to the why you're in business, and it'll help you sell better for sure and lead better. In terms of my interests, so I love traveling, I love biking in the outdoors, of course, and I'm a lifelong learner. So Converted You by Lead Pages is one of my go-to resources where I take classes. I'm actually a Drip certified consultant, and Drip is a tool under the Lead Pages umbrella for email marketing. So I get a lot of my learning, a lot of my training from there and their methodology. Hubspot also has really good training tools and just a lot out there. So I'm always learning and keeping myself knowledgeable on the industry as well. So just talking about some companies out there, Lead Pages, HubSpot, etc. So just a little disclaimer here. I have affiliations and partnerships with some of the software tools that I mentioned and of course that I use. So not limited to just these, but if there are tools that I mentioned, one, it means that I use them, like them, or at least recommend them for a business that needs them. But if I do share a link specifically, that link, if you do purchase, after clicking that link, if you do purchase the software, I may receive commission off of that. So just know that. It's a little disclaimer out there. But main important thing to know is I'm not, definitely not partners with tools that I don't recommend or don't use with myself or with clients. All right, so let's get into it. What are you going to learn today? And what is going to be most important for you when it comes to learning CRM? So we're going to go through just the one-on-ones of using a CRM. It's going to be very basic top line level. I'm not going to get into nitty gritty. This is also not a how-to. I'm not going to take you through a complete demo of a CRM tool. I am going to be specifically talking about HubSpot CRM just because it's the one that I use and the one that I think is very easy to use, very effective, and lots of teams, big and small, can adopt it. But there are many different tools out there that you can use. And for deep dives on those, or even deep dives on HubSpot, that's going to be a one-on-one that you can book with either myself or any consultant or one of the sales teams for those tools for sure. And so the main kind of trajectory of this whole webinar will be on giving you 10 key tips for managing your sales process. It will really open up your mind to what a CRM can do and just give you some pointers on strategies, okay? I think I have, let's see if there's a question that came in. Yeah. Okay. So do you have a CRM that you prefer? That might have come in a little earlier. Yeah. So I prefer mostly right now, it's HubSpot. That's the one that I'm using right now. And that is effective for me. Again, not saying everyone should use HubSpot in the world, but what I'm saying is that I've tried many. I've tried CRM tools. I've stopped using CRM tools and went back to spreadsheet because I was just like, I can't. Like, I'm not using it. I don't enjoy using it. It's not effective for me. And I actually went back to a spreadsheet tool. And then I decided to look in and see what the market was doing with CRMs now. And HubSpot really relaunched and upgraded their sales CRM. I think they just announced it at their conference in October. So not too long ago, really. And it's the one that I prefer using right now. So, and that's the one I'm going to walk through with you guys. So if you're not using a CRM at all, and you just want, you want to see one, that you'll get some benefit out of that. But I always encourage people to, especially if you have big teams, don't just go with the one I talk about or recommend right now. Evaluate your team's usage and habits and go from there. Okay. All right. So another thing I do want to get out the way is, so just a, fair warning, this is not, there's nothing for sale. I don't have any catch to this webinar. I don't have a course launching, of course, yeah, please buy my courses when they do launch, but there's nothing launching right now. So I don't have anything to sell. This webinar is not, hey, there's a catch to all of this. It's simply a training, a learning module for you, for totally free. Of course, you're on it right now, and giving you the methods and tools available for your CRM. So everyone will, I do have bonuses. Everyone will get an email template, which is my prospect outreach 3-part email template that you can use and alter as you need when you're reaching out to new prospects. And everyone will get my lead nurture sequence swipe copy, which is another example of email sequence I use when following up with leads in my system. So everyone will get that. The first 5 people to claim bonuses after this webinar, which I'll give you instructions on how to claim the bonuses, will receive a free CRM or email audit starter package, which has a value of $500, and it's basically an audit from me going into your systems, understanding what you have set up, and giving you strategy and game plan for what you need to get set up. Okay. And then you'll also get, so again, the first 3 people, it says 5, sorry. The first 3 people to claim the bonuses will also get a free consultation hour with me. So I'll give instructions at the end on how to claim that. And yeah, it should be all fun. Cool. So let's do this. All right, so I mentioned spreadsheets earlier, and I even said that I was using one up until I started using HubSpot. And there's a problem with spreadsheets. They are effective. I'm not going to say that they just completely don't work. They definitely are effective, and they have come in as saviors when other CRM tools just weren't doing it. But there is a problem, an inherent problem to spreadsheets, and it's a very manual process. You're going in, you're creating the spreadsheet at first, you're formatting what you need it to have, your numbers and everything, and then you're going ahead and putting in client data, and then everything is all over the place. There's really no organized system for that unless you have some kind of Excel consultant go ahead and set that up for you. But who wants to do that? Data is kind of siloed into that single cell. You can translate some numbers over, but not all. Like, one of the problems I had was like I was having a month-to-month forecast of my pipeline, and then I would have a master of all my revenue, so that way I could see what it looked like for the year. But some of those numbers weren't ported over, and it was just a complete nightmare. You don't want to be in that situation if you're planning on growing your company, if you're scaling your company. You want a place where your numbers are in one system where a report can be pulled easily. And so you can really determine an effective way where you can manage your business. So spreadsheets, again, I was using one not too long ago, but it really was not the best situation for me as I was trying to grow my business. So CRMs become very useful for some of the main things that I actually really need to do a lot in my business. So I'm a service business. I definitely need to follow up with clients. Sometimes people refer me to clients. Sometimes I get someone who's interested but not quite ready yet. Sometimes someone asks me a question and doesn't come back to follow up with another question, and I want to kind of check in. All of those things are called follow-ups. And if you're not following up with your leads or your customers or your clients, you miss out on very big opportunities to grow the relationship with that lead. Once someone's in your system, once someone's a customer, that is easier than trying to find a new customer to buy from you. So you need to remember to follow up. Having a CRM that can effectively manage that follow-up process for you, or even automate that follow-up process for you, is going to be a gold mine for you. The other thing I was doing too was I was just leaving my contacts in emails, because I can easily search for someone. If Sue Jill reached out to me, and over the past year, I can just go ahead and type in her name, Sue Jill, into Gmail, and all of her emails will come up. Great, it's all there. But it's not effective. Let's be real. It's also not a good way to just keep track of things. Things can easily be lost that way. So be warned that, when you can have it in one place under the one contact in your CRM, that's going to be a better system for you. The other thing is, you shouldn't only be talking to your customers. I think this is the thing that we fall into. I definitely fell into this trap where I was just staying in touch with people who were actually directly emailing me, and that's it, because hey, they reached out to me. But what about, especially you guys who have online ways that people can access you, what about people who are coming to your site? What about people who are signing up for your newsletter? What about people who are signing up for your lead magnet or anything like that? You shouldn't only be talking to your customers. You also want to talk to the people who are browsing your website, browsing your services. And with a really effective CRM that can collect that data, you'll be able to do that. And a good example the other day, someone went on my site, don't know where from. They came to my site, found my site. I have a drop-down bar that allows them to sign up for my 5-day mini course. They sign up for that 5-day mini course, and great, they're in my system. They're in my email marketing funnel. That's awesome. But what if there's more that I can do on a personal level with them? Maybe I want to add those people because there's a specific ask with that drop-down tool that could allow me to reach out to them directly, or if not reach out to them directly, funnel something that I think would be useful to them. So being able to capture information on just even your prospects who are coming to your site and then possibly following up in some kind of personalized way that way can be super effective. The other thing really, and it's going to always come down to numbers and the accountability of your business. So have a healthy understanding of your numbers and your business forecasts. Having a CRM will allow you to do that. You'll know, are you going to have a 10K month this month? Are you going to have a 5K month this month? Are you going to have a 20K month this month? Whatever it is, having the numbers right there in front of you in a forecast view will help you to manage and understand your business health. And then last things, really on having a CRM, it's accountability. Especially if you're working on your own or you have a small team, you don't have a CRM that's just out there for the whole team to see or just for you to see every day. Who's holding you accountable for your numbers, for what you forecast, for what you projected? We got to start learning to hold ourselves accountable for our business and just hold people on your team accountable for their business. These are things that are going to be really important for you. Okay. So fair warning, CRMs are not yet in the AI, artificial intelligence space. So it's not just going to magically save you all the time where you don't have to input data into your CRM. A CRM will only work if you input data. So that's the funny catch to all of this, is that this is where it gets tedious. You need to put your contacts into a CRM in order for it to start working. You need to put your deals and your forecast into a CRM in order for it to be effective. You need to do all of these things. So if you're not doing them, if you're not inputting that data, it's just going to be a software tool that you're paying a lot for. So remember to use your CRM so that way you are, getting the most benefit out of it. So fair warning, this is not AI yet. Do you have a question here on what's the typical cost of a CRM? So great question. Typical cost of a CRM, it's going to vary, of course. So again, like I said, I am talking about HubSpot here, but that's not to say that other tools are also going to be better or more expensive or less expensive than the other. But when it comes to, let's say HubSpot, so they actually just launched their free forever CRM. So technically they are free right now. You get certain features. So obviously there's some blockages, some limits. So it's a premium version, right? So there's some limits of what you can access, but you can access a lot. I would say a good deal of items in their free version. So I would say sign up for it, and I believe you have 10,000 free contacts that you can put in there. And then there's limits on just some other things. Some features are not available. Like I'll talk about the calendar booking tool. It's not available. Not the calendar, the messaging tool. It's not available on their free version, but if you upgrade, then it will be available on that upgraded version, that starter version. And I think their price is about $50 a month. So it's not, depending on how much you can budget. Again, it's not like a $10,000 a month kind of deal there. It can be very affordable depending on what your limits are. Okay. All right. So Let's get started. So tip number one in organizing your CRM. So first things first, you want to choose a CRM, right? We spoke about this. You first want to have a CRM. So when it comes to choosing a CRM, there are tons of CRM tools available to you today. So the choice gets hard. It definitely does. Because what does this? One tool might do this, the other one doesn't. You like this about that tool, you don't like this about this tool. It gets hard. But nail down one. Features are changing every day with these companies, so they get better. Like I said, HubSpot just relaunched theirs this October, and it's completely better. What I wouldn't have been using it 2 years ago, a year ago, but I'm using it today because I was just like, great, you finally did what I really wanted to do. Base is another CRM tool that's out there I've used before. I've mentioned HubSpot. Pipedrive is another one that's you probably hear a lot, especially in the small business world. Zoho, another big one for small business. You definitely heard of Salesforce. That's more enterprise level, big businesses. Insightly and Contactually have been getting its name out there. I think even Contactually in the kind of blogger influencer world as well. So I do have a link, and I'll share it right now, just so that way it's in the chat session, the chat box, that you can use to just look at all the different CRMs that are out there and decide which one is good for you. So just shared a link with you guys, and that's a list of some of the best CRM tools that are out there that you can choose from. It's an extensive list, so don't overwhelm yourself, but go ahead and look through that at your leisure. But yeah, main thing, you want to make sure it's easy to use. If it's too cumbersome, if it's not not design friendly, I think that's the main thing of what makes something easy to use. You don't sign up for it. Make sure it's cloud-based. If you're signing up for a licensed system that has to be downloaded on your computer, run real fast, because really nothing should be licensed software these days. Definitely not a CRM. And skip all the bells and whistles. Go with the basics. You don't need, sometimes you'll see us here. It does this, it does that, it does, it does AI, all of these things. You know what? First of all, some things are kind of introduced too early, and you don't want to just sign up for something because it's the new and up and coming. You want to sign up for a tool that's been working right for a while, and they're just basically upgrading their system because they have it all there. But if you're signing up for something because of the bells and whistles, but it doesn't do the core thing that you need it to do, you're going to waste your money. So go with the basics, at least at this stage, if you're just starting out. And you also want to make sure most importantly, your CRM has an easy way of tracking deals in your system. And we'll look through deals. I'll give you a mini demo of how I use HubSpot CRM, my CRM, and you'll see how that works from there. Okay. On top of that, once you choose a CRM, once you get started with the CRM, I think the thing that becomes okay, now I get started, now what? Well, first step, put your contacts into your CRM. That's step one, because now as you start building up that contact list, you can start really getting activity and logging activity in there. The faster you can get your contacts into your CRM, the better. Find a tool that can have an auto ad feature with your inbox. Likely, all of your contacts are coming directly from your inbox. People are reaching out to you through email. So if you can just auto add someone right from your email, I'll tell you that will be magical for you. And then also having data beyond just phone number and email address, because naturally, so when we're inputting data on our own, we're going to enter a phone number, email address, and that's it, because we're just so exhausted by that point. But if you can find a tool that can collect that information over the web, which there's lots of tools that can do that now, especially because LinkedIn has so much data out there, even better for you. And let me go into HubSpot over here, my HubSpot account, and just show you how I am collecting data, or how I'm automatically adding contacts in. So here's a good example right here. Have an email came through. This is just a fake email, but email came through and automatically here. So what you would do if you do sign up for HubSpot, you're going to download the HubSpot Google Chrome extension. And with that, it basically goes in, it can scan your email, the contacts, of course, and then you can automatically just add that person right into your CRM that way. and then boom, they're in your CRM. Nothing else, no fuss, nothing else you need to do. The other nice thing about it is what HubSpot is doing. It's actually going in and looking up company info. So this is just an example of Demio in this sense. It's telling you their location, what kind of company they are. And then if you had any deals associated with, you can open it up to view more, what kind of revenue are they bringing in and all of that stuff, LinkedIn page, which I really like, and I'll talk more about that. So if you can collect all of that data just automatically, just through a simple Chrome extension add-on, you're going to be golden. You'll definitely start using the CRM some more. Okay. Tip number 3, make sure you're logging your emails. I think this is super important. Most people, we go back and forth with so much emails per day, and then we don't log it because that's too time consuming. Why would we do that? But if you have a tool that automatically does that, it's all in one place. You don't have to do a thing. You do want to go ahead, there's times when you have to go back and look back. What did she send me? What did she say? What did she ask? That's super important. The other thing that's really nice is when you enable tracking features on your emails, and this can be super stocky, right? I actually hate, I kind of feel like I have too much data when I know when someone opens my email, but sometimes we really need to know, especially you guys on the sales team, you really want to know when people are tracking are opening your emails, right? Or especially if they're sharing, if you shared a document with them, did they open that document? That's all data that, I want to know. So with tracking enabled on your tool. So in my case, when I use HubSpot, if someone opens my email, it tells me when they open my email. It tells me how many times they open my email. The other thing that I can do, and I'll show you this right now, is share documents. So let's say I just had a pitch call, and I want to follow up with the proposal, right? Or follow up with a case study. I can go ahead and share that document out of my HubSpot CRM and understand when they opened that document. What pages did they look through in that document? How long did they spend looking through those pages in that document? So super creepy, right? But super useful when it comes to you running your business. So let me just show you what that looks like here. Give me 1 second, and so I can share my screen. Let's see. So let's go ahead and find the screen where I have the documents set up. There we go. Perfect. So right here. So I'm in HubSpot right now. And there's a tool in HubSpot called Documents. And I'll take you through this, like I said, so you can see it all in kind of a regular order. But in Documents, you can go ahead and upload your presentation, your pitch, your proposal, whatever it is, and you can share that with an intended recipient. You can also require that they need an email address to open it. So maybe they're going to forward it, right? So in order for that person to forward it, they have to enter their email address, which is really nice for visibility, but not that really. What I think is also nice is that you can go ahead and preview this document and understand. So yes, you can preview it, but understand once you've shared it, you'll be able to understand what pages did they look through, how long did they look through the pages, if they clicked on anything within that document, if it was clickable. So really nice just to add on into visibility of what's going on with your document. Can't really see it here because I don't have anyone opening it up from here, of course, but you can upload documents from anywhere within your computer or within your shared files. And it's a really nice feature to have, again, just for total visibility. Okay, let me go back to presentation here. All right, so keeping track of communication back and forth is super important. Tip number 4, you want to make sure you're tracking events. So lots of things can happen the minute someone, discovers you, or the minute someone starts talking to you, the minute someone comes to your page. And you want to understand, where should I focus my marketing efforts? Where are people coming to my page from? How are they finding me before they reach out to me? Maybe I can understand if there's a deeper interest in, what are they looking for from me? And I can also figure out ways to have a personal touch with them. So something that happens with my CRM when I'm using HubSpot is if someone comes to my page and reaches out to me, sends me an email or signs up for anything on my any of my email subscriptions, it will then be logged in HubSpot automatically. And what's super nice about that, I'll know how many pages they visit. So I have an example of a user who visited 6 pages on my site. And yeah, the curious question is, they ended up signing up for my list, but the question was, well, how did they find me? And I was easily able to tell that they found me from Instagram. Super nice, because now it's like, I didn't really think I was focusing on Instagram. I never really, had to pay attention to it. But as more data started coming in, I found out that a lot of people were actually reaching out to me and discovering me through Instagram. And that's super powerful. So any way that you can have more data that's available to you and use it effectively will help you be a better marketer and a better salesperson and run your business more effectively. So tracking events, super important feature. All right, tip number 5, make sure you're creating follow-up tasks. Now, this is very important for anyone who's in the space of following up with leads. If you're not following up, you're not getting deals closed. Deals close when they're followed up on. The other thing is we're human. We forget. If I don't schedule a follow-up task, someone will go out of my mind. Not because I don't care about them, not because I don't want the money, just because I have so many things going on. And the last thing that I want to remember is remembering to follow up with someone. So create follow-up tasks and make sure they're meaningful. Let me go ahead and show you an example, just another example here of what a follow-up can look like. Let's see, let's get in here. There we go. Great. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go into my contacts area. And let's say this Brian Hannigan. Again, I need to follow up. Who's actually the CMO, CEO of HubSpot. But what's really nice here is that I have upcoming tasks that need to be done, upcoming emails, things like that. And here's one that was scheduled. So a meeting with Brian Halligan, cupcake creator demo. Great, that's all there. So now I know what I need to do. If I had tasks, they would be all here. So there's a follow-up task with Brian scheduled. You can create a follow-up task based on something. The nice thing about it is you get an email reminder from HubSpot saying, hey, remember that you have a reminder to follow up with Brian. So all of that will be in there, and that makes it super easy and super efficiently. Once you do have that meeting, you can go ahead and log a call. You can talk about that outcome so that way you know what happened. Oh my gosh, it's all there and all effectively there for you. You can keep notes, whatever it is that you need to do. But the fact that you do have it all in one place and you have a system for doing that will just make your life 10 times easier. Okay. So yeah, make sure you're following up. I have found hundreds of thousands, if not thousands, of dollars from a client when I just simply followed up from a client or lead. All right, tip number 6, create templates and dynamic content. So just kind of the basic rules of the road. And when you're emailing clients, you're probably saying a lot of repetitive things, right? You're probably, sending out contracts or formal paperwork, or, someone reaches out to you anonymously, or, who you don't know, and you just need to say, hey, here's my standard pricing. I usually like people to fill out this qualification form. Can you do that? Those are repetitive things that you're sending out. If you create a template, you don't have to recreate that each time. And then also you don't have to go into a document, copy, paste, put it in your email, forget that stuff. If it's all logged there in your CRM, all you have to do is click on that template. It populates in your email, personalizes the first name and whatever other pieces of information you need to personalize, and boom, your email's created. So that's what the templates do, and the dynamic content also helps you to personalize a little bit more, so you can save a ton of time. In terms of templates, some good reasons, emails that you can use for templates. So quote unquote breakup emails. I love these. Basically, you've been reaching out to someone, it's been about 10, follow-ups that you've done, and they have not responded. They have not told you if they want to do that proposal. So you do what's called a breakup email. You just say, hey, what? I noticed you haven't responded in a while. Totally okay. I just want to know, is this it? Is this it for us? Whatever it is, you can frame that however you need to. And I'll tell you, those emails work, because when people see that you're going to let them go, you're breaking up with them before they break up with you, they say, wait, I'm still kind of interested. Just give me some time, or let's talk tomorrow. So breakup emails are going to be super important for you. Make sure you have them in place. Contract emails. So you might find yourself needing to send contracts and details, and here's how to get started emails. If you can keep that as a template, that will make your life super easy. Lead qualification email. So like I said, someone reaches out to you from the web or from wherever, and you just need to send them a standard, hey, love to work with you. Here's what I need to find out about you first. Here's my pricing, things that just get them qualified before you even hop on a call. Here's how to schedule a meeting with me, that kind of thing. So that could be a template, your sales pitch, your case study follow-ups, and things like that. Testimonial emails. If you guys aren't doing testimonials after you finish a client project, you really should start. So have that testimonial email as a template that your client can just go in and fill out once they're done working with you. Okay. All right, let's keep on moving. Tip number 7, form a lead nurture flow. So what exactly is a lead nurture flow? So it's a system for which you're following up with your lead. So I talked about how following up is super important. However, if you're not following up with your leads, it's usually because, one, you don't have a good CRM system in place, or two, I should say, you have a CRM that you're using, but now you haven't automated it. So there are some things within your CRM that you can automate and that you should be automating. So if a lead hits a certain level, like a certain score, maybe they should get a certain email. And you don't only have to do this in your CRM. This can happen within one of your email tools. I specifically use Drip for any of my online leads coming in. And once they hit a certain score, they get a certain email from me. So you can automate that. And then maybe they go into a different series based on what they clicked. How engaged are they? Did they look at your pricing page 15 times within the month? That means they're super engaged and they're really curious about you, but maybe they don't understand your pricing. So maybe it's time for you to reach out and say, and with that templated email that says, hey, I noticed that, don't make it too creepy, but hey, I want to see if there was interest in hopping on a call with me so I can walk you through my services. Anything like that, you can definitely do. Personalized emails versus mass emails is also, helps when it comes to lead nurture flow. So sometimes you want to personalize a bit more. So maybe someone is visiting your pricing page a ton, and you want to get super personal. So they visited your pricing page, but that they also recently hopped on a call with you talking about your social media offering. So personalize it to talk more about the social media offering that you offered, as opposed to another person who, was interested in your email marketing services. So you want to personalize it for that person. So automate where possible and create a lead nurture flow. Let me take you into, again, just go into, I'm not going to actually run it because demo is not live, but I'll run you through. HubSpot does have a sequence setup that you can do, which can be very effective when it comes to automating your follow-up. So in HubSpot, there's something called sequences. And I'm not going to turn it on like I said, but what it does, and I can always send this link to you so you can watch the video, but what it does is it allows you to go into HubSpot, create sequences, a follow-up. So if there's like a 3-part sequence that you typically use for people who visit your pricing page 10 times, make it into a sequence. And that auto, you can make it automatic. So you start that sequence on that person, and then it continues that flow. You don't have to do a thing. Also, sales follow-ups can be done in sequences. So that's something that you may want to look at. Maybe you're reaching out to a client and you have a formula where you reach out to them 5 times, and then after the 5th email, they get the breakup email. That can be a sequence as well. So look into it and see if that's something that you'd want to implement and use. But if you do use it, it can be a game changer for you and, of course, for your time. All right. Getting to the last final tips here, and then we can go into Q&A. Just one second here. Just make sure you're seeing the screen. You guys are perfect. Yeah, so lead nurture flow, set them up and use them and watch you save some time. So last couple of tips here. So tip number 8, live messaging. So this is a really unique feature. It doesn't happen with all your CRMs. And honestly, I'll say something with live messaging, you don't have to use it. It doesn't have to be included in your CRM. You can have a CRM and then use another live messaging tool, whatever you want. I do use Hubspot for my CRM, but I'm currently using Drift for my live messaging. Totally fine. It's up to you. Maybe I'm sacrificing some data that gets shared between platforms, but they're both capturing the data I need. So as for right now, it's fine for me to have them separate. But if you're starting off with HubSpot CRM, hey, use their live messaging feature that's available. It does come with the paid plan, so it's not on the free version. I think it's you have to pay the $50 a month starter plan, at least to get it. So install it on your site. When you install it on your site, you can see, as this picture says here, basically your picture pops up, and it's almost like someone's browsing through your store and you want to say, hey, can I help you? Anything I can help you with? Same thing. They're browsing through your website, maybe they're lost. You could pop up and say, hey, is there anything I can help you with? Hey, do you want to schedule an hour consultation with me? Whatever it is. Customers want immediacy these days, and when you have a live messaging widget on your site, it will change worlds for you. Trust me, people will start talking to you. It will seem creepy at first, and it will seem like, who are these people? But they will start talking to you. And I'll tell you this also, when someone starts writing to you on your site, that usually means they've been on your site for a while. Because like your widget usually shows up after 7 seconds. So I'm talking longer than that, because by the time they feel prompted to write you, they've developed some kind of curiosity. They have questions in their head that normally, before chat widgets were available, they were just kind of like, okay, I'm not really sure. Let me see if I can look on another page, find an answer. Then they look on another page, they find an answer. And then they're like, I can't find the answer. Maybe I should email this person. But then it's just like, that's too much of a task. They don't email that person. And then guess what? The lead is gone. But when you have a chat widget that pops up, they'll write that chat widget for sure. Especially if it has your picture, it says, I'm here to help, they'll write that chat widget. So set it up. The nice thing about it, when you do have it integrated with HubSpot CRM, is that they will go ahead and that data from wherever and however they contact you will go right into your CRM. So super sweet. All right, tip number 9, track social data. This is really important. And you saw earlier, I gave you a peek at looking in to see, you could see someone's LinkedIn profile. It can get even deeper than that depending on what this person has available. Sometimes you can see their Instagram profile, their Facebook page link, anything like that. This is really good, especially for people who are finding you online and you don't know who they are. They're pretty much anonymous, but this data starts populating for them. And what it does, the more you know about your leads and customers, the more you can connect with them. So if someone's writing you, if someone's reaching out for a proposal from you, and they haven't, maybe, you sent them a proposal, they haven't reached out in a while, but you need a reason to follow up. Sometimes, don't just follow up saying, hey, did you get a chance to look at my proposal or anything I can help you with? Maybe you look at their Twitter profile and see what they last tweeted and follow up on that and just say, hey, it's been 6 months since we spoke. It looks like that I just saw that you were at the telecom conference. Hey, what did you learn from it? I'd love to hear what you found that was valuable out of it. And connect that to your business and start having a conversation that way. Start getting social with your clients and your leads, and it will change your business dramatically. The other thing that you can do is also, you want to understand, what do they hear, say, and do? How do they talk? The more you can do that, the more you can develop your personas. Let me just do I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to wait. I'm going to get to tip number 9, and then I'll go into HubSpot and just show you some of these things. But yeah, I think, having that just available at your fingertips is super important. All right, last tip, and then I'm just going to go into HubSpot really quick, take you through some quick, features in there, and then we'll talk about Q&A. But tip number 10, integrate your auto booking calendar. So this is a lifesaver, a time saver for me. Being able to just send someone a link or put a link on my signature saying auto book your, some time with me. Oh my gosh, it saves me so much time. So stop wasting time going back and forth with dates and everything, and book directly. And once someone books, that data will go right into your CRM under that context name, because you should have had them in your CRM at this point. And now you'll get a reminder in your email from HubSpot, all of that. And again, any CRM tool that you're using, this is kind of a little bit more of I wouldn't even say this is a bells and whistles. This becomes like a necessity these days to have your auto calendar booking right there within your email, and of course connected to your CRM. So I'll take you through, in there within HubSpot so you can see where you can set it up. And that is within the free version, so you don't need to pay for access to get that. But you can send calendar links directly and people can book with you. So super, very nice feature. You'll love it. And I think that'll be the feature that you'll find yourself using the most. All right, so let's go in and take a look here. So let me take just maybe, 2 minutes or so just to take you through the things you can use. So I mentioned messages earlier. So again, messages is in the paid version. So I think if you upgrade to the $50 a month, you can go ahead and use the messaging super easily to track and also to convert. If someone starts talking to you on messaging, then they can, if they convert, it'll be tracked. Hey, this person started a messaging. So that's available there. And that's obviously a great feature. Calendar feature, which I mentioned, here we go. Also a feature that you'll look into, connects right through your Gmail. I think I said this already, but yeah, what I like about HubSpot, but any of your CRM tools, make sure it can connect to your Gmail and make sure it connects really well, or Outlook if you use an Outlook, and that way, integrate it right in. The other thing I wanted to show you, so there's something called workflows, and you can just automate what happens. So the minute someone starts, conversation with you, and then they click on your pricing, maybe they go here, maybe they go to sales, anything like that. So there are lots of just different tools that you can use, snippets. Like I mentioned, the first 3 people that respond to my bonuses email will get a one-on-one consultation /training with me, however you want to use it. But I can walk you through and help you set up your HubSpot. So that way you can start using some of these things, and I can get into more detail about what's actually a snippet, things like that. Your task section, all here. Your deals, let me talk about that just really quickly, and this is what I really love. And some tools get this right, some tools don't. CRM tools don't. You can track all your deals right here within your deal section, opportunity section of HubSpot. And what's really nice about it, so let's say you had an appointment schedule, you think that's a $1,500 deal that it could possibly be. Call went great. The person said, yes, let's do a demo. You had that demo, you move them over to the presentation scheduled. Then you have that demo, the person sold, not yet signed yet. You move them over to decision maker and buy-in. And then, they're like, yes, Jennifer, send me the contract. You can move them over to contract set, great. And then deals closed, you can move them over here. So it just becomes super visual for you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It becomes super visual as you move these deals over. And I gotta put a reason. Sales. I'm so great, whatever you want. You move these deals over and you can track them that way. Now, of course, so you saw how it just asked me, hey, what was the reason for closing that deal? Very important, because sometimes the reason was you negotiated or whatever it is. So move them over as you can and put that data in. But also if you lose something, it's going to ask you, why did you lose? Because, hey, maybe it was pricing. I wouldn't go lower than, 25% off. So you want to note that. It's also good if you have a lot of teams or a lot of people on your team who need to see that information, will know why deals close. Or maybe if you look at something like 6 months later, you forgot why it didn't work out and you can see why it didn't. So this deal section is very effective. The contact section, we looked at it a bit, but let me just show you. some of that data that I spoke about with that gets pre-populated for you within Salesforce, within HubSpot. And it's all here. And it's amazing. So like I said, it has the LinkedIn information, but if there's other social activities that they have, it will be populated there. You can also create custom properties. So maybe there's other things that you want to have in there. Website activities. So how often are they going to your website? And then any attachments that you've shared. So lots of great things. Again, I really love using it, but you don't have to take my word for it. You don't only have to use the CRM. There are other tools that you can use. Just make sure you're evaluating it and making sure it works for you. All right, so we're at the top of the hour or getting to the top of the hour, and I actually want to just finalize and make sure I get any questions answered that need to get answered in a Q&A. So just, overview of this all, main point of this all is make sure you spend less time on tedious tasks. I'm all about automating. I am all about having my time back. I don't want to spend my time working and doing tasks. So if you can automate, you can have a CRM that works for you, your life will change. Trust me. And you also want to make sure that you find a CRM that you love using. So evaluate them, pick the one that's best for you, make sure it integrates with other tools. So if it integrates with your email, perfect. If it integrates with your billing system, perfect. If it integrates with your proposals writing tool, perfect. All of those things, the more the better. You're not going to find a whole, something that integrates with everything you use. That's just not really totally possible these days, but there's, you can use this Zapier tool for that. But yeah, try to make sure it's connecting. I think most importantly for me, it's connecting to my email and my calendar and my website, of course. And then create a system for getting that data into CRM. The easier it is for you, the better it becomes, the better, more data you have in your CRM. So just make sure you're using it and you'll find yourself loving the tool. I think most people don't like tools because they don't even start using it, or they try once and then they're just like, I don't even know how to use this. It sucks. So don't be that person. Start using your tool. All right, so let's just talk about these bonuses, the 3, not the 5, first 3 people that write to Jennifer@jennymiranda.com. And I just need the subject line to say bonus CRM. It doesn't have to be all caps. Just make sure it says bonus CRM. Send that to Jennifer@jennymiranda.com and you will receive all of the bonuses. However, the first 3 people to write to me, and I will start that clock the minute this webinar ends, which we're going to end once we get into the Q&A section. I'll say that. So first 3 people to send that email to Jennifer@jennymiranda.com will get a free CRM or email, your choice, starter package from me, which is just basically one of my basic audits that I'll do with you. And then you'll also get a free hour of consultation with me. So I'll just say 1, 2, 3, starting now. All right, but anyone from here on out, even if you send it an hour later, you will still get all of the bonus. The first 2 bonuses listed here. And then again, the first 3 people will get the bottom 2 as well. Okay. All right, so let's just, finalize this with Q&A, and anyone can ask questions. I think I have some questions come in. Yeah, so send the email to Jennifer@jennymiranda.com and it should, I'll get it immediately. I'll be looking at my email after this for whoever asked that. Jake, yep. Okay. Let's see if any questions. There are a few, but it looks like I've answered some of these while I was talking. Is there an email provider that bundles everything up? I think I understand your question. So is there, I guess what you're probably asking me is, instead of using a CRM tool, is there an email service provider that also acts as a CRM? So that's being marketed today. There are some email tools that say they can also use a CRM. So yeah, like I think I've mentioned this already on this call, but I use Drip for my email marketing, and they don't market themselves as a CRM, but they do kind of, they do say that, hey, this can be used as a CRM as well. that's true. I mean, it definitely acted as my CRM, from kind of a core standpoint at first, but as I wanted to scale my business and there were certain needs that I had, I really needed a real CRM, a dedicated CRM. So that was where first my spreadsheet came in and then HubSpot. But there are tools. I think ActiveCampaign has a CRM in there where you can keep contact management. It's really up to your preference how much of a detailed CRM you need. HubSpot is also a marketing tool. So if you get their CRM, you can also sign up for their marketing tool and also send out emails. Of course, that's different costs involved in all of those things. So it's up to you. Is HubSpot good for sales teams? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the main thing that HubSpot is known. Well, I see what you're saying. So HubSpot actually it's mostly marketed itself as a marketing tool. So its sales CRM is newer, and I think it puts them in a position to really talk to sales teams, forgetting about the marketing team anyways. But what's nice about it is most people or companies who started HubSpot started using it for their marketing, and now that it has the sales end, and so what they were doing when they were using it for their marketing, they were connecting HubSpot with, say, Salesforce. Now the way HubSpot is positioning itself, you don't really have to do that. You can connect. You basically can have it all in one system, which is really nice and probably saves you money. But that's not to say I'm not totally a fan of just having something that's completely bundled, because usually a lot of these companies that bundle things don't do everything amazingly. And so, yeah, HubSpot had its CRM for a long time, but it also had marketing, and marketing it did really well, but sales it didn't. So as a bundled company, I wasn't for it. I was just like, no, you're not doing this well. You do this well, but not all of it. I think that's what they're trying to head. They're definitely kind of doing some kind of rebranding, a relaunching of everything. So it looks like they're giving particular focus to things individually, which is good for them, I think, and smart move. So I can probably finally say now that I think they do their marketing and sales better together now. It wasn't that case before. How much does HubSpot cost? So yeah, it's $50 a month. Again, I'm not here to sell HubSpot, so check the website for sure. I'm going to send you guys a link, of course, and just kind of give you everything you can get started with for just setting up the free site. But I'm not here to sell HubSpot, so I'm not going to say, hey, it's a discount off of it. I don't have that authority here, and you can definitely speak to the salesperson there. I am a partner with them, so you can speak to me and we can have a session going where I can help you get started as well. But I'll leave that up to you. This was mostly to give everyone tips on the CRM, but yeah, it does. I think the advertised price right now is $50 a month. How long does HubSpot take to set up? Hey, it took me maybe 15 minutes, not long at all. And when I say 15 minutes, that was for me to connect my Gmail account, my business Gmail account right away. That was to integrate the tracking code onto my website, and then adding like my first 50 or so contacts all in 15 minutes. It was not hard at all. And I still have some more to do because I've been migrating things over for some time now, but once I'm completely done, it'll run effectively. But the core things that you need to get started, 15 minutes, not long at all. Okay. I think some of the other questions are repeating. I'll just see if, any last questions. I'll take one to two more if any do come in. But yeah, for those that are still on the call, I just want to say thank you for sticking around. Thank you for staying on this webinar, Organize Your CRM. I hope you do get started and pick a CRM that you want to use and that you will use. And I hope to just see that you guys are just finding it useful. Again, shoot that email out to get your bonuses, and I think you'll be well on your way to getting started. And stick around for any other webinars or courses that I have that really, my whole theme is about saving time and automating things. So the way I can help my clients, customers, and anyone who's interested in what I have to say do that, the more I'll do that. So the more of these I'll be offering. So stick around with me for as long as you like. I'll continue to feed out good content to you. Yeah, so thanks everyone. I don't think I see a question coming in, so I'll give one last second for that. But otherwise, thanks everyone, and it's been great spending the morning with you guys.